spring cleaning extreme. So I've taken everything out of the van with the help of my dear wife. Cabinets are out, bench is out, appliances are out, given it a good vacuum and clean. Honestly, it doesn't take very much time to strip everything out the van. I built it in such a way that the cabinets just bolt in onto the walls using riv nuts, and of course the bench seat just bolts in to the unwind rails. Ready to think about phase 2 of the camper van build. So if you watched the first series, thank you very much. Time to take out the roof. I want to fit a larger fan for the hotter climates, so this is going to all come out. And also what I want to try and do is recover some of the space that I've lost. I have quite thick insulation, so what I'm going to do is compress that insulation a little bit and actually batten it down to the sides of the van like it was originally. This has worked fantastically well for the last few years, but if I can get an inch on the top and on the sides. This side is the side that usually has the surfboards in, so I have the roof racks and then the surfboards, but for the times that the surfboards are not in here, I'd like to be able to put in another double bed. The next thing to do is to take this all out, then batten it down a little bit, slightly change the shape, take it from there. Let me explain a little bit about what I'm going to try and do. The previous roof that I installed was floating. In other words, it rested on the upper parts of the body over here on the left and right, and it wasn't screwed in or attached to the roof beams at all. I have these aluminium trusses at roughly 50 centimeter centers. There's 4 of them in the length of the van. What I intend to do is use some battens and bolt them up flush with the truss over there, and one in the corner over here, 2 on either side of the new hole that I make for the electric fan. And what I'm trying to do is push these battens as tightly into the corners as I can, like that. So I'll still have a little bit of a curved roof here, which is a roof line I'd like to keep because it mimics the curve of the actual roof. I don't want it to be square like it was before. This insulation has worked really well, particularly in the heat wave of last year down in central Portugal and central Spain, where we had temperatures in the low 40s. The van was reasonably cool inside when it was parked up. The plan is to attach these battens to these trusses and then screw the roof to it so that it's a little bit more compact. I'm going to compress this so that it sits flush with the truss like that. And then while I have the roof out, besides cutting a new hole for a larger fan in the roof, I'm also going to see whether I can attach some quick release grommets on the outside of the roof so that I can put maybe a surfboard rack or something like that on the outside. So when we're parked up at a campsite and we want to take the surfboards out of the van, we can pull them out and put them onto a surfboard rack on the side of the van. So there's quite a few reasons why I've taken out the floating ceiling. The other advantage of having the roof out at this stage is that I can have a think a little bit about how I want to run the wires for solar panels. I'm not 100% certain yet about how I'm going to do those solar panels. I don't like the idea of having to park in the sun to charge the batteries. When it is extremely hot in the 30s and low 40s, you want to find shade. So I'm going to use portable solar panels for that. I have some ideas about how to use that so I can put those in the sun and still have the van in the shade. But it would be good to have some kind of solar charging happening while the van is actually on the move. The other thing about this forward cabinet in the roof is that we found that the actual aperture for the door was a little bit tight for our holdalls. So I'm going to make this quite a bit larger. It's super handy to have this in the roof, so we will continue to use it. So that's something else that I'll be doing in this iteration of the van build. So keep an eye out for a future episode.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, stick around for the next video. Thanks for watching, happy days.